Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. It is Jumpstart January. I am doing my video for Jumpstart January. You know what? I was actually watching a video of Miss Nappy Loves. Now, she actually, you know what? She has the best idea. She does. And then she's like, go and do a response or put it down in the comments or whatever. So I'm doing another video response to something that Ms. Nappy Love actually started. Check her out. Go check her channel out, guys. But what she was actually talking about was unlikely friendships. And it was interesting. It got me. I said, what she was saying, she was going through a whole thing of hanging out with a person who normally she wouldn't have made friends with. And she was saying how important it is not to block yourself off because you never know who those people are going to be. Well, that really touched a chord with me, Miss Nappy Love, because the funny part is the two best friends that I actually have on this planet were unlikely friendships. I'm going to start off with the one. Her name is Deverdine Fullwood, who actually, I always call her Miss Dev. I actually met Miss Dev. We were at a job, and actually she's still at that job. We're not going to say where it's at, but she's still at that job. We met at the training. My baby at the time was 1 year old. I was just re-entering into the workforce after being off for over a year with this newborn. So I go and we seen each other, everything. We're standing in the hall waiting. You're waiting to go into training. And then we ended up, for some reason, we sat next to each other. And that's kind of how it started. That's the way it stayed. We always ended up, from the first day we sat down, we sat by each other the complete training, the whole way through training. And that's just kind of how we stayed until we got our desks, and our desks weren't near each other. They separated us up. She was on one side, I was on the other. But by that time, the bond was already there. She's a little bit older than I am, which is not strange because most of my friends I always pick friends that are older than me. But she's very quiet. Miss Dev is a very quiet lady. She's very, she's very together. That's just who she is. She's very quiet, very together. So just at a first sight, you think, me, I'm loud and I'm this fun person and all of this, where she's more quiet and more, her demeanor is more, laid back, which that doesn't scare me off from anybody. But, most times people that are quiet like that, they kind of scare off from my kind of loud personality. So the funny part was, as we started to talk, me and Miss Deverdine are born on the same day. She's January 9th. I'm January 9th. So we're both Capricorns. A lot of the same things tick us off. A lot of the same things. Then we found out we were very similar as far as the things we like. I like plays. I like musicals. I like all different types and genres of music. So does she. I like to go out to eat. I like to try different things. So does she. I love to cook. So does she. It's just hilarious. My mom is a very laid back, no nonsense person. So is hers. Even when we put the moms together, they clicked right away, which was quick because my mother doesn't click with everybody. They clicked, and her mom, same thing. They clicked right away. Miss Leola and my mom clicked right away. I turned her on to watching Project Runway. I don't even keep up on the show as much, but she's like a diehard. She loves it. Here, I crochet, she crochets. I know how to knit, she knows how to knit. She does beading, I do rhinestones. She sews, I sew. She does jewelry, I do jewelry. I mean, I could go on and on and on. It's crazy how, just at first glance, you would never think, She's a classic dress. I'm more loud. But I love what she does. I love how she puts her stuff together, and it works for her. It's just, as much as we are alike, we're that much not alike, and it just works, And she is one of my best friends that I have that are actually walking the planet. And, you know, so that video with Miss Nappy Love, that just really struck a chord with me. And I was like, that is so crazy. I said, that's Miss Dev. That's who Miss Dev is to me. She is that unlikely friend who actually turned out to be like the best friend. Because my best friend, always had a best friend that was male and a best friend that's female. I didn't always have them, but my best friend was female. She passed away. Along comes Miss Dev. So you look at that, you know, a couple different ways. But again, it was funny because I have never met anybody born on January 9th until into my adult life. And I'm trying to think, there's one other person that I met with my January 9th birthday, which is Annette. And Annette and I have known each other since we were children. And until we were literally grown with children, didn't realize we had the same birthday. And we live in the same neighborhood. Is that not crazy? Crazy. But anyway, moving on. The other person who was an unlikely friend happens to be my absolute best friend that is actually in the world, which is Chet, which is you always hear me talk about him. I said my brother, and that's exactly what he is to me. He's my brother. That friendship actually started off the same way. He was an unlikely friend. You know, I didn't even really, and I hate to say it like this, but I wasn't interested in being his friend, you know, at first, because generally, his personality type and my personality type do like this. We just clash. We were just too different. You know what I mean? He is more of a quiet person. Again, there you got me. And at the time that we met, I was really just being let loose and I was just as gay as can be. You know, I was as gay as I could be. The longer the hair, the better. The more hair, the better. You know, I was really in a position of really expressing myself outward. You know, that's back when I first started doing female impersonation. I just had this really outlandish personality, whereas Chet's he was a more quiet person. You know what I mean? If, you know, he's not one for, you know, he just not that person. He'd rather nobody be looking at him. You know, that's his thing. And I'm like, honey, are they looking at him? You know, I was just, you know, a hairdresser, you know, and all that. I had that whole thing going on. I had the drag queen thing going on, the hairdresser thing going on. And I just didn't think that we would be friends, that we would make friends, because there would be certain things about me that I think that he would want me to tone down, and I wasn't willing to tone him down. But let me say this, and this is one thing that I hold up on him all the time. No matter how outlandish my style or whatever it was I was doing was, never a word out of his mouth. Never, you know, he never made me feel no kind of way. He's never not wanted to go anywhere with me or anything like that. Literally took me on home because he's not from Pittsburgh, took me on home to meet his people. And, you know, I mean, you know, and there's something to be said about that. Like, again, I don't have a problem with me. You know, and I'm unapologetically me, you know, and always was. But the first time I went to his hometown, baby, I had a part in the middle and, baby, straight, y'all talking about some flat iron shit, straight hair hang all the way down to my belt. That's what I was given. And I'll tell you what the look was, because it was so funny, because I actually had it first, and then this bitch busted out with it right afterwards, was Tony Braxton. It's the album cover of The Heat, Tony Braxton's album, The Heat. I had that hair before that bitch had it. I was wearing it for like a couple months before the album was ever released. That's how my hair was, but I had a part in the middle, and hers was just weavish. But when I first went to his town, that's how I went. And he presented me to his family just like that, without even flinching. And there is something to be said about that. That is a true friend, that, you know, you can be you whenever, however that is, that you could be you. And he's never made me feel any kind of way about that. And looking back at it, at, you know, the age that I am now, I said, wow, that was kind of, you know, I was kind of, I don't want to say in a selfish mode, but I was really doing me, and it didn't matter what anybody thought. But quite honestly, if I had it to do all over again, I would have probably toned the look down. Like, I would have took the weave out. Now, I wouldn't have gone. If I had it to do again, I wouldn't have gone to meet his family that flamboyant. I wouldn't have, because that's not, you know, that ain't who he is. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have done that. I would have I would have, if I had to do it all over again, I would have took the hair out, just wore my own hair. I'd have got my hair braided and, just went all, as boy. I only go with so boy, but I would go as boyed up as possible. But no, he took me right on home. I met his mother and cousins and his grandma and nobody, I mean, they were very cool. I get a worse impact from my own family, okay? I've had more shit from my family. And that's what I tell you, I've had my hair, that hair alone, just when I was a hairdresser working in a salon and all that, my hair has been every way that you can think of other than the French roll or blowing. That's it. I've had it all. I've had it all. And my family, there's been times when they have tried to give me the blues. The one thing that I will say, all those who know me and anybody that wants to challenge it can go right down in the fucking comments and challenge it. Every hairstyle that I've ever had, every one, you may have liked it, you may not have liked it. But you have to admit, motherfucker, it was done. You've never seen a track. You've never seen me with my hair not right. My hair was always whip, dip, and twirl, baby. Always done. Always done. It was done. It wasn't fucked up. The hairstyle might not have been to your liking. You may not want me to have it, but it was always done. I don't do tracks, showing, and none of that. I never did that shit. And I'll stand on that. I'll stand in my shit on that. But anyway, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But yes, my family would really try it, just smart shit. Oh, well, I could tell that the hair is not real because it's too long. Like, really? You looking around? My grandmother's hair is down the middle of her motherfucking back. So what would make you think I can't grow hair down the middle of my back? Just dumb shit like that. But anyway, my brother has never made me feel any kind of way about anything or any look that I ever pulled off. And we've gone wherever the fuck we was going. Concerts, to the mall, out of town, in town, round town, wherever the fuck, amusement parks, wherever that we wanted to go, and he didn't give a fuck and dare a motherfucker to do a dirty look or open their mouth. That's my brother. That's how my brother got down. And like I said, I would never trade him. I wouldn't trade him for the world. Do you understand me? Now, like I said, there's some things that I think if I had to do over, that would have been made things a little easier for him. I would have done, when I think back on it, but that's life, isn't it? That's life and that's growing up. But I love him to death. You hear me? I love that man more than any male that's walking this planet at this point. And that's just the way it is. So, again, an unlikely friend. Somebody that I didn't even I really didn't. I didn't think we would be friends. The next thing I know, he's staying the night all the time and we're laughing and kee-heeing and we were brothers. We were supposed to be brothers. That's the way it is. Never any funny business or never him liking me or me liking him or no shit like that. We were literally just brothers and actually closer than I am to my actual biological brother and have always been. So anyway, all right, Miss Nappy Love, thank you very much, girl, for starting to make me get up on my soapbox. I didn't plan to get up on the soapbox for this. But anyway, I do love my brother, and I love Miss Dev, and I wouldn't trade either one of them for anything. And they were unlikely friends, and I'm so glad to actually have them in my life. And I'm so glad that, Miss Nappy Love, I'm so glad that you actually brought this subject up, because this will feel good, It feel good to sit here and to talk about them. And, I am not sit here and get all emotional, y'all. I'm gone. Jumpstart January. Check out Miss Nappy Love. I got to go. All right, guys. Bye.